could speak up where you had to.
Exactly. Yeah.
Many people on the radio today, they use words that were taboo for us to use.
NTPB.
Yes. You're a trainer. What can be done?
You said you're a trainer. What can be done? As if I'm the cause of the problem.
Oh, no.
Let them send them to training school, first and foremost.
Yes.
If they send them to school, they will have a chance to see things the way they are done. They will be scrutinized. And they will be given a chance to say, did I do it right or wrong?
not. Yeah.
But now, get out of school, if at all you went to school, then you take him to the studio, so your voice sounds good. What about his mental capacity?
Yeah.
What is about his psychological state of mind that can tell him, listen, you're talking to people who are more knowledgeable than yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
So,
True.
involve them. Talk to the beggar on the street and the professor in the classroom, and in between, the leaders everywhere, because you're talking to someone, one person. But that person has a brain.
Yes.
And he can process things.
And he might even be smarter than you. So
In
why
fact,
talk
he's
to him
most
as though
likely
he were
to
not?
be smarter than you.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, you've had a checkered career in broadcasting. In fact, let me say in media practice. Part of that was a 13-month stint as commissioner in your home state, Edo. What was that experience like?
Well, it was an interesting experience. It's just that I didn't see myself capable of playing politics and being a professional at the same time. I couldn't. And good thing, the governor then, Lucky Benedion, he's a man, I should say, he listens, you know, and I think he just found that, because he came on Sonny Rabo Live, by the way, and from there he made up his mind I was going to be in his cabinet.
Yeah.
You know, and I felt honored by it. But after 13 months, it became a bit tough. The day I left was the day Mrs. Stella Obasanjo actually came to launch Radio Nigeria Benin, you know. And before that, I had done a bit of short trip because things were not just going the way I had expected.
But was there any particular thing you wanted to say it was like, or compare it to?
In the 13 months?
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of good things should have happened, but they didn't. You know, and I saw a governor who was being twisted to do a lot of things for the politicians rather than for the people.
Okay.
And there's no way anybody can rule like that.
But isn't politics meant to be for to the people's benefit?
Okay, you said it.
Yes.
But do you feel it? Let the people tell you that they're actually getting or gaining the so-called benefits of democracy in the people. I don't see that happening, and I don't think people are really enjoying that. Otherwise, we will not be where we are today. We are going down rather than going up.
That's
and
true.
this going down started a long time ago.
But can you divorce the person from their politics?
Why shouldn't he divorce himself from the politics? Who elected you there? Isn't it the people?
Yes.
Okay. So if the people put you there, what should you do? What should your priority be? Meet the people's needs.
Yeah, and expectations.
Not meet the politicians' needs. That's what's happening today.
Yeah.
And that's very sad, really.
It is sad. It is sad. And even these days, you hear people say the young or younger generation is not ready to take power.
That's a very untrue statement. And that's from a very selfish point of view.
Why do you say that?
Because adults are overstaying their role and time in power. Look, Trudeau of Canada, how old is he?
Yeah, well, he was a baby when Gowan visited.
Thank you. 1971 or
yes,
thereabout.
72 or 73.
Yeah.
Because I think he's about 48 now or so.
So you can imagine how many years he's put in now.
Yes.
Okay. So how old was he when Bill Clinton, how old was he? 43 when he came to power.
Yes.
Emmanuel Macron was 39 when he came to power.
Exactly.
The Prime Minister of Austria, Austria, was 31.
Yes.
So what's happening to African leaders? become geriatric before you can be anything? No. You see, what I'm trying to say is this. I'm not perfect. But I believe, honestly,
Yes.
that the people deserve a true leader, a committed leader, one who can say, I have something to offer you
Yes.
because of the needs that I see before us. Give me a chance and I'll give it to you.
All right.
Now, if that happens and you actually perform, then you're being creditable
Okay.
and creditworthy.
We're still on Timeless Conversations. My guest is Sonny Irabor. We'll take a short break now. We'll be back shortly. You're welcome back. It's still Timeless Conversations. My guest is Sonny Irabor. We're talking about the role of the youth and the older generation in politics. And you've expressed this salient fact that the older generation is overstaying
Yeah.
its role or its position in power.
Both.
Both?
Yeah. Because, look, at this stage, there should be elder statesmen advising the young ones. But if you are not giving the young ones a chance to rule, to give them the benefit of the doubt, let them experience life at that level,
Yes.
you might see that they have a lot to offer.
But APC brought out its presidential form, a nomination form, at 100 million naira. How many young people would be able to afford that? And then they said they reduced it to 50 million, even 20 million. How many of them have
That is
it?
part of the four power we are talking about.
Yeah.
Because you are now making people to go towards facing the wrong direction. I have no money to offer, but I have leadership, which I'm endowed with. And the 100 million is now standing between me and truism.
Even 50 million.
Even 50 million. It's not proper.
How many people have 50 million? In fact, how many people have 1 million?
How many states
Yeah.
have that money today?
Yes.
States.
States.
Yeah. Do you know how many of them are begging?
Yes.
Is the country not begging and borrowing now?
That's true. That's very true.
So I think, you see, maybe we should not misplace our priorities. I think that's where the problem lies.
Yeah, but you know it's about practice. It's about saying something and doing the same thing, or saying something and doing another thing.
Yeah.
Why must politics be one where people say one thing?
And then they do another.
Yeah, why?
There used to be one Olu Obaseki.
Yes.
Many years ago, he said, "Do as I say, not as I do."
Not as I do,
and the
yes.
children know, no.
Yes.
You do it, we must follow you.
Exactly.
You know, excuse me. Now, that question is salient. But do we have conscience? If we have conscience, we should be able to understand that the reason there is politics is because of the people.
Yes.
You see, government of the people, for the people, and by the people. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Democracy.
That's what it's supposed to be.
So why should it be otherwise? Why should the National Assembly earn far more than their counterparts elsewhere in the world?
Yes.
It came as an aside, but it's the truth.
It is the truth.
Why, for example, should we now see a situation where there's no money to do certain things? We say, okay, don't worry, we'll go and borrow money to do it. When the money is brought, you divide the money into different bits and take it for other things instead of what it was meant for.
Yes.
Why should anybody that borrowed me money come and tell me how I should spend the money?
Yeah.
It's because they don't believe I will spend it the way I said I was going to. Should Nigeria be like that? No.
But then, what's the role of integrity in power?
What's the meaning of integrity?
Yeah.
Integrity is not supposed to be, let me even put it bluntly, somebody who is able to respect the rule of law and respect his own level of commitment to truth.
Yes.
And believe that he's not above the law. Then integrity can come in effortlessly.
Yeah.
That is not happening. Because if that were happening, then what we are going through now, we shouldn't be going through it. I'm not casting aspersion because this started a long time ago and it's continuing as it is, and we don't know when it's going to end.
But you know, the younger generation, they say things like, Daddy, Uncle, your generation has failed us.
Yes, they are right.
And those uncles will now say, but is your generation ready?
Why would I take advantage of the loophole that I see there? Did they give them a chance? NSAS came. What happened? There's a report on NSAS.
Yeah.
And it told the truth the best it could. International media came. They saw everything.
Yeah.
Now, when it came to a climax where people were killed, now we started looking for truth. Why should that happen? The children or the youths had a chance, and they proved to us that they could do things well.
They could organize.
Organize. And you are telling me they are not ready?
Yeah.
Bros, I beg, get as it be.
Nobody say it be as it gets.
At all.
It get as it be. Now, truthfully, the younger generation has a great deal working for them.
Yeah.
Technology, information dissemination.
That we wrestle with them over. We always wrestle it with them.
Yeah, yes, because again, older people don't want to relinquish power.
But do we even know how to use the computer that is in front of us?
Yeah,
We don't want to relinquish power.
I think
We don't know what information is in that computer that is in front of us that we don't know how to use.
that we don't know how to use. So, but really, shouldn't there be a deliberate attempt to nurture, mentor people who will take over in different strata of life?
Start by respecting the rule of law. Let the constitutions, the 79, the 99, let them play their roles. Let us see how far we can manage it. Let's stop amending constitutions when we don't even know the meaning of the constitutions. Our lawyers should honestly help us. They should not take advantage of the situation. They should help us interpret the laws. And then the law enforcement should do the best they can to make sure that things are done properly, creditably, and effectively.
But this thing you're saying, it sounds so utopian.
Well,
Why am I saying so? Sometimes in traffic, you find vehicles driving against traffic, and they're blaring sirens, and they're not ambulances or fire brigade vehicles.
do we respect ambulances?
Well, some of us
Have you ever seen an ambulance being respected on your highway, Lagos Highway?
I think it's beginning to pick up. I've seen
Okay,
that. I've seen
beginning
that.
to. You are a retiree now,
Yes, I am. Yes.
Beginning to pick
It's
up.
beginning to pick up.
When did it start?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Right? And then there's a fresh breath of air. You see an RRS vehicle filled with policemen stop for the traffic light.
Then that's leadership
I saw
by
that.
example.
I was happy.
That's good.
I chased them. I said, thank you for stopping for the traffic light.
Because when they stopped, everybody stopped.
everybody stopped.
That's the point I'm making. Respect the rule of law.
Yeah.
You know?
You see, we will take a break now. We'll take a break now. We'll come back soon. Thank you. Welcome back to our talk with Sonny Irabor. Now, you have had the unique opportunity of being a public and private sector broadcaster. What's that experience? Can you compare both?
Well, it's interesting to talk about. It's rather intriguing because for the public, which is the government-owned,
Yes.
they see us as civil servants, but we see ourselves as private servants or private sector people. And the reason for that is because we still try to maintain some form of professionalism, which is required. So I entered broadcasting at a time when the competition was not that strong. But in 1992, which was halfway through,
Yes.
Babangida opened up the floodgates.
Yes.
So private radio stations, private TV stations, they all came up.
Yeah.
But don't forget, there was always private print.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's always been there.
Yes. In fact, that's why they've been seen as bolder than the rest of us.
Yeah.
Now, when you look at it from that point of view, you also see that the private sector radio, which I really got fully involved in with the advent of the establishment of Inspiration
FM, yes.
you know, and of course there was Sonny Rabol Live with AIT.
Yes.
I saw myself listening to both sides of the coin. I saw a bit of public service, and I saw a lot of private sector service, if there's any phrase like that. But what happened was that, hey, private sector, sometimes the private sector, they will do their best to make sure that salaries are paid as and when due. That was, with Inspiration, that has always been the case. And I enjoyed that. I think AIT, I wasn't part of it. I was just an artist that took Sonny Rabol Live there. So my program earned its money.
Yes.
You know, it was sponsored by others, and then I paid my dues, and so that partnership was there. But I think the best option would be to look at it from the Inspiration point of view, where I'm still serving on the board.
On the board, yeah.
Yeah, there's been a lot of challenge, but met with reality, met with meeting the expectations as required.
Okay.
But not without sweat.
Yes.
Not without sweat at all.
Okay.
The public sector, however, is you're waiting for government to do everything for you. That's not very helpful,
Okay.
you know. So it compromised quality, professionalism.
Yeah.
But at a stage, it also started trying some people.
To pick up.
Yes.
No, but yeah, let me take you back. Was this Sonny Rabol Live that made you leave Radio Nigeria?
It wasn't. I just saw my hands getting fuller and fuller and fuller. At Radio Nigeria, I was already dabbling in too many things. I mean, I was an actor, second chance,
Yes.
you know. And then I've been training. Training was part of public service for me. And I was reading news. I was doing so many things side by side.
Yeah.
Everything was just moving so fast. And I said, oh boy, Sonny, slow down. Do things your way so you can still maximize certain qualities and profits. It was tough.
And then you had to leave.
I just told my DG then
Yeah.
that I needed to leave. I gave 6 months notice, and he gave me 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I said, bros, thank you, sir. And I left. So I moved from, public service to private sector because I already had Rui Communications Limited.
Oh, okay, and then that was already running.
Yes.
That was being run by your wife.
By my wife.
Okay.
And of course, thank God, because when she now woke up, the magazine came to birth, you know.
No, now, talking about waking up, you turned 70 recently. And that was in March.
Yes,
Yeah.
March 23.
March 23, you turned 70. First, you don't look 70.
Thank you.
Second, you've never looked your age. No, you have never looked your age.
Okay.
At least I've known you for not less than 40 years.
Thank you.
I feel talk.
Okay.
So, what's been the secret?
Be a happy person. There are moments where you cannot afford to be not happy,
Yeah.
but just try your best. Yeah, everybody said I was a happy-go-lucky person, and but I think I worried less. There's a friend of mine, a very rich man, but he didn't go to the kind of school we all went to, and not many of us went to school anyway. But there was something he always said, and that made me never forget him. If you worry, you die. You don't worry, you die. So why worry?
Exactly.
So I kept that mantra with me, and I did my best not to worry. But there were moments of worry, and there was nothing you could do. You just had to worry. But let go. Let God.
Yes. On the occasion of your 70th birthday, our dear colleague and friend of yours, a junior of yours in school, Ogie Eboigbe, yeah, he wrote something about you. That the first day he met you, that you were playing table tennis at the college, and he had just been admitted, and he was looking, he said, okay, you stay behind me and be picking the balls.
Oh God, that's unfair. Okay. When I see him, I will.
Yeah, but he didn't lie now. He was describing his experience.
I remember the experience.
Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they don't do that in school these days. Or they'll call it bullying,
Oh, boy.
But they still bully, though.
Wait, I didn't bully. But people bullied me now. Yeah, well, that was an experience because, again, there was also a hierarchy of experience. Let me first reach you.
Yes.
Let me first reach school before you.
Before, yes.
And go behind me, pick the ball.
Pick the ball. You were even in Form 3. He was just in Form 1.
Oh.
So he had 3 years experience already. He was about to start. That's what he wrote.
Yeah.
And it was a very beautiful thing. He happened to even end up being your best man when you were getting married. Yes.
See how the world goes around.
Yes.
Because Ogie is very principled.
Yeah, he is.
He's, I say, and he's very spiritual. You know.
Yes.
So he's that kind of person. Look, you won't believe what Ogie has done. Ogie was State House correspondent.
Yes.
Then he finished and went to work for Canadian Embassy. He was their PR officer. Then he went to work for UBA as PR officer. Now, if you look at his
trajectory,
you say to yourself, maybe Ogie be this. But he maintained a cool mien about it.
Yes.
If you worry,
you die.
You don't worry,
you die.
So
why worry? Yeah, we won't worry, but we'll talk about something.
Yeah.
A few years ago, about 2 years ago, you had a fall.
Yeah. 2020. Oh my God, clues. That year, pandemic year.
Yes.
I think the world stood still. In my case, my world almost stood still. On August 25, 26, maybe, I'm not so sure. I ran through the kitchen, which was being cleaned up, washed, you know, they mop it.
Yeah.
So it was wet. Just to give the driver the car key. I was feeling spiteful. I just, I slipped. And then I started doing Tom and Jerry, just trying not to fall.
Oh, no.
I navigated my way through the back door. I zoomed. I hit the sharp edge of the steps. My chest at the back. And it was bang. I saw, well, I don't know if you can look at elephants as stars. That's what I must have seen. So I recovered and just got up and sat there. Poor drivers, they were just looking at, sorry, sir. They made poor girl almost crying because she felt she caused it. And I got up and I just went back in as if nothing happened. A few days later, I was not feeling my best. And Betty, my wife, said, why is your shoulder slumped? It's like your one side was, you know. And I said, I don't feel it, but somehow I just feel one kind. I said, I know, call the doctor, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I felt good. I thought I felt good. Then I said, I'll call the doctor later. And I didn't. Anyway, what then happened was that all of a sudden, I started feeling uneasiness and kind of heat wave around my system.
Wow.
So I now called the doctor. Doctor said, what's wrong with you? I said, I don't know how I'm feeling. But I had a fall. And when? I said, some days ago. Did you hit your head? I said, well, no, I didn't. Are you sure? I said, no, I didn't. Okay, come to my house. So we drove to his house. My son drove. My daughter I was at the back. No, I was in front. The two women were at the back, my wife and my daughter. So we got there. And his wife was having, this Dr. Shea Roberts.
Okay.
His wife was having her 60th birthday.
Yeah.
And so They didn't have any major this because pandemic. There was really no noise making of any kind. Anyway, so they came out and looked at me, examined me, and said, "If you feel like this by morning, go and go and do MRI." But he shake my hands, and I shook his hands with this hand. He said, "Grip me," and I gripped him.
That's
He
your
pulled
right
me.
side.
Yes, he pulled me, and I pulled him back. "Oh, you're okay, you're okay. So far, so good. But please, if you feel any discomfort or any change, call me and make sure. But in the morning, go and see go to McHugh and do your MRI." So everything seemed okay. I slept well. I went to do the MRI in the morning. By then, I was beginning to limp, and Betty said, because Betty, who had done surgery some years back, some her clutches that she used. So yeah, take. So I started using that, and then got to do the MRI. Sitting down waiting for the MRI must have taken about 5 hours, and my system was degenerating.
Oh no!
So I felt something was really not the best for me. I said, "No, it must be that fall. It must be that fall. It must be that fall." Anyway, I finally went into the MRI. One noisy machine like this, oh God. And 20 minutes later, I came out. He said they would send the results to the doctor. But by the time I came out, this hand
had gone limp.
And oh wow, Betty was upset. My children were very upset. They didn't know what was happening. Because everybody sees me as like I've never ever been admitted in any hospital.
Wow.
So by the time she saw the MRI results, quick, said, "Nicholas, I should go to the." So I spent 9 days there. And I already had what you might call almost a full-blown stroke. On this hand. Yeah. But luckily, that was the only thing that showed there was any stroke. But, she had called it evolving stroke. That discouraged me and said, no, don't worry. Make sure you drink a lot of water. Make sure you do this, you do that. And then he put me on medication. And so the hand started coming back to life.
Okay.
Now it's 2 years. It will be 2 years.
It will be 2 years in August.
Well, August the 4th.
Okay, but the stroke was
2nd September.
Wow.
So that was it.
What has it been like for you? You're somebody who is on the go.
Hey,
on the move.
It was. It's been tough because even my family, they don't want me to do anything
at all.
They don't. But then when I insist, they say, "No, it's okay, but you have to obey the doctor's orders." I say, "You're right, it's true." So we've done a lot of physiotherapy. The hand is a lot better now. I can now
lift up a little bit.
Yeah. But sometimes if I keep it for too long, I just start feeling.
So you just have to keep it mobile. You need to keep moving it.
Yes, that kind of thing. So, well, here I am. Getting back to track, back on track, as they say.
Well, like we joked the other day that old age is catching up with you. So it sent you a message through that phone.
Oh boy, the guy needed joke because I never would. I'm just 70, going on 70.
You're a septuagenarian.
Okay,
Septuagenarian. Septuagenarian. Yes.
No, don't be conscious now.
I'm conscious.
I'm not teaching you.
You taught me before now. I have to be conscious.
I wanted to learn from you.
You're a septuagenarian now, so whatever you say.
You are saying I'm 70.
I know, I'm reminding you that you're 70.
No, but I think it was, somebody said the other day that was
March
17.
23rd that you turned 70.
And I thought 17.
70.
Pronunciation.
No, not 17. 17. T-E. No. But you look good for 70.
Thank you.
You look very, very good for 70.
Body not feel good.
Body never feel good yet. It will soon return to normal.
Yeah.
Now, as someone who is 70 now, and you have worked for about 50 53 years. That's it.
Yeah.
When are you going to retire fully?
Is there any retirement?
That's
There
the question
isn't
I
too,
asked you.
because really, even when I was ill and I didn't feel like doing anything, believe it or not, there was a kind of degenerating or feeling that I thought I had.
Of just being immobile,
Yes,
of not doing anything.
I didn't like that.
That's what scares most people
But I didn't like
about
it.
retirement.
Well, why is there the word retirement?
Maybe because you need to slow down as you get older.
Yes, slow
Maybe,
down. But
yeah.
just say slow down.
Yeah, well, slow down.
Don't
is
say
a-
retire.
Slow down. Those are two words. Retirement is one word.
But what do we say? Go slow when we are
If we say
static?
that in Nigeria, go slow.
Look, my father, and in 1973, my father retired.
Yes.
And we said, Dad, don't go anywhere. You know what he did? He escaped.
Ooh.
We thought he was missing. For 3 months, we were looking for this man.
Wow.
He went to a place called Eho on the way to Auchi in Edo State.
Yes.
He was Midwest there.
Yeah.
And the guy created a farm, a 5-hectare or acre land.
Yes.
Farmland. Got 8 able-bodied boys, 8
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
My father looked so fresh. We only saw him 3 months after we declared him missing.
Yes.
But one thing he did that got us a bit comfortable was that he said, don't worry, I'm okay. Nothing wrong with me. But if you want to know where I am, don't bother. Because he said we were hounding him to stop.
To just stop working.
He said,
Okay.
"No."
So
And
we're
you
not
know-
going to hound you, so you
So
won't
don't
escape.
hound me.
So you won't escape.
Yes.
But one thing we're going to say is
Yeah.
that don't be in a hurry
No, to
to
where?
get many things done.
Okay. That's a point.
Yes, don't be in a
But
hurry.
body is slowing me down, so I can't even hurry anymore.
So, but at least take it easy. Now, taking it easy will make me ask you the question: what's your favorite meal?
Oh, they stopped me on that a long time ago. It was sushi and banga soup. They don't stop. So
Osi, what's Osi?
sushi is that starch that they do
Okay.
in Uroboland.
Okay.
That is very yellowish
Very
because of the
yellowish.
palm oil.
Yes.
Yeah, by the time you don't beat and well,
Okay.
then you don't do banga soup with fish.
Yes.
Yeah? Not frozen fish, oh.
You know, fresh fish now.
Fresh fish.
Fresh fish, yes.
Not fried,
Not fried there.
but
Just
the one that they
it's
dry
broiled.
up, you know.
Oh, did you dry it up?
Yes, and then
Okay.
they cook it, and the one that they turn together is a roundish
Yes.
fish. Like tilapia is the best, but these days now only this thing they see. The electric
Catfish.
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 So anyway, I left that, and now I take
So you found a new love.
plantain mash with black soup.
I was going to ask you about black soup. You know, I have a lot of friends who are Edo and all that.
Bitter leaf soup.
I love
Black
that soup.
Give me knuckles.
Yes, you know that black soup.
Yes,
when you take it,
It keeps my body together.
I love the what's that
Pounded yam?
leaf now? No, I don't take pounded yam.
Me too.
Yes.
But I still at it a little bit because
No.
The
I
mixture
love
is good.
Yeah, I love the efirin, ewuro, the
Okay,
ewuro
yeah.
bean. You know, when you mix it together, and it's a beautiful, beautiful.
there was
one.
one I took in Ibadan, gbegiri soup.
Gbegiri is out there.
Phew.
Gbegiri
And
is
lafun and all that.
gbegiri and amala. You understand me? And then when they add gbegiri to the amala, and then with the soup, the other soup, that's
The ewedu.
ogufe soup.
Ogufe.
Ewedu. So that's why they call
But
it
Nigeria
abula.
is so rich.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But if you talk about Nigeria, 2023 is around the corner. What's going on? How do you feel? You're an old man
I'm
now.
seeing-
Oh, sorry, you're an elder citizen now.
Well, of the above. I'm seeing untruth. I'm seeing falsehood. I'm seeing a desire not to allow the young ones play their roles. People who should not run, there's no need for them to run. Come on, they've had the best of times. They should slow down, give others a chance to roll. Honestly, I think what we are doing right now is like Shakespeare's Comedy of Errors. It should not be so.
Some people said that Nigeria is at a precipice right now.
We've been there too many times, and I
Yeah.
hope this time we'll be able to get away from it.
We were in
Get out of it.
1993,
Yeah, we were in 1993.
and that was very
We were
scary.
in 1979.
Yes.
See?
And the
We were in the 1964 wet year.
The truth is, 64, I wouldn't have been aware. I was just 2 years old then.
Well.
Right. So I was one of those they were carrying around. Not so for anything not to happen. Don't crawl out there. No, but seriously, why is it that every election year we heat up the politics so much?
Some people enjoy that. They want the world to see. You see that fear-mongering,
Yeah.
fear factor.
Yeah.
It doesn't help anybody. It takes us back, actually. So if we can tell the truth to ourselves and respect the rule of law, I keep saying that.
Yeah, but you keep saying rule of law.
Yeah. What
Right.
is the rule of law?
Who is going to lead in the respect of rule of law? There is something missing in the Nigerian political space. It's leadership, good quality leadership.
Because the right people have not been given a chance, to rule or lead by example. And so somebody makes a mistake, he's at fault, he's taken to court, he's guilty. Let the judiciary handle their case themselves.
Yeah, but talking about going to court, people don't get punished. People steal money, huge sums of money, and then they do a plea bargain, slap them on the wrist 6 months.
And then, why is the money so available? Shouldn't the money be in the banks?
Yeah.
Should it be in houses or bullion vans?
The truth
Should any individual own bullion vans? Should anybody even say why? Look, I don't see why our money should be doled out the way it is being doled out.
But the point is that there is a law, there is the EFCC Act that says you cannot withdraw more than so much in
Nobody's
cash.
obeying it. Why?
No, nobody is enforcing it.
Aha,
The
that's
banks,
the word.
the enforcement should start from the banks.
The banks,
really.
that's right, yes.
The moment you are withdrawing more than so much in cash, it should be reported.
Absolutely.
You can't do it in other
And if
countries
it's
now.
reported, who should follow it up?
Yeah, but they should do the reporting first.
True. Absolutely. I
They
agree
should
with you.
do it. Up
Completely.
to today, many arms of government, local, state, and even federal, they withdraw huge sums of money in cash.
And that should
To
never
do
be.
what? That shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be at all. And there's no reason why anybody should bring us so low.
Yes.
Because I think it's because of that attitude of, I can get away with it. That's why all these things are.
There's even more than I can get away. We are getting away with it. That's it. Nobody is being punished.
Nobody's
So there is a dearth of leadership,
And then we have leaders.
supposedly.
They call themselves leaders.
Supposedly. But you see, it transcends those in public life. Even in private lives.
Who put the people there? It's not us.
Yeah, we do.
So,
But how many good people are coming out? You have never come out to run for election.
was I given a chance?
No, did you try?
I tried and ran.
So then you didn't try?
I tried and ran away.
No, you didn't try.
Okay.
You didn't stay. You have to have a fighting spirit.
No, but I was appointed. I wasn't elected.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So it's not really a case of live and let live.
Yes.
It looks like it's a case of live and let die.
Oh, not die.
That's what's happening.
No, it's a case of standing by what you believe in.
For us, yes.
Yes.
But for those who are there now, who don't want to give anybody a chance, what are they doing? They're living to let die.
Yeah, but then
Me, myself first.
but the whole thing will crumble. That's where we're at the precipice. That's what led us to this.
It's scary
Yes.
because from what we've discussed so far, I'm almost giving up saying, no matter what has been said, there's nothing I can hold on to as being the solution to the problem. I've heard Peter Obi give such a beautiful analysis of our economy. I listened to Soludo at the platform,
Yes.
you know. But I was asking myself, on the Rewani,
Yes.
Bismarck,
Yeah.
who is listening to these guys?
Yeah.
Who is willing to take the advice they have given?
Yeah.
So everything's adding up.
Yeah.
And it's coming to the fact that me, supposing I try, who would join me? I think that's the fear.
Hey, well, see,
Should it be so?
this is what it should be. Me, I would try.
Okay.
I will be known for trying.
Okay.
And we've had examples in the past.
Okay.
We had Aminu Kano. We
Yes.
had Tai Sholari.
Yes.
You understand me? We
Yes.
had other people, and I'm not mentioning the big names. I'm mentioning the moderately respected names.
Names.
Who stood for what they believed in.
Principles.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what we're
Absolutely.
missing.
That is seriously missing.
Yes.
And there's no, I don't see any, no light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, if we say there's no light at the end of the tunnel, then what are we handing over to the younger generation?
That question you've asked so many times.
Yes.
And honestly, I can only tell the world, give the youth a chance. That's all I can say.
And on that note, I'd like to thank this is how he calls me, my brother, my colleague, and then I add my Egmo and my trainer. This is the first time on the air I will say Mr. Sonny Irabo. Usually we'll just say Sonny Irabo. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very
And thank you
much.
for sharing your passion with us. And thank you for still training people.
Thank you.
Thank you. You don't old though.
If you worry, you die.
Yes.
You don't worry, you die.
die.
So why?
Why worry?
Okay.
On that note, we want to thank you so much for being with us on Timeless Conversations for this episode. We look forward to joining you soon. Thank you.
Increase the reach of your events or business services. To advertise on Plus TV Africa, please call 0906 000 5719 or 0909 040 8408, or send an email to marketing@plustvafrica.com. Plus TV Africa. Big stories live here.
I have not come across a blind person who have become sighted. Unfortunately, I've come across too many sighted people who have become blind.
I stood for like maybe 2 or 3 minutes, was like, a blind individual writing like this. Even a typical human being cannot do most of what he is doing.
They are pushed aside. They look them as perpetual beggars. And it's not supposed to be. Some of us, we are learned. We don't need pity. We need opportunities. We need encouragement.
A February 2021 report by the World Health Organization says that globally, 2.2 billion people have a visual impairment. Of that number, 64 million people suffer from glaucoma, the leading cause of irreversible blindness in the world. It is projected that by the year 2030, 95.4 million people would suffer from the disease. Being a black person is a risk factor. At Ikeja Junior High School, Lagos, Nigeria, There are 55 steps from one end of the hallway to the other. There are 18 steps down the stairwell and 15 steps between classes. Cyril Ojime counted them all because he needed the figures as well as his white cane to find his way around work.
It's more than the cost price.
Cyril is a 48-year-old visually impaired mathematician. He teaches math here to students with and without hearing disabilities in junior secondary classes 1 to 3. This situation presents a peculiar communication challenge.
Imagine they will do sign language, I cannot see what they are signing. I will talk, they cannot hear what I'm saying. So if they want to talk, I cannot even hear them. They will make noise with it. And it has really been a very difficult situation. How are you today? Fine. I had to learn a little bit of sign language, and that gladdened their heart. They love seeing me making that effort to communicate with them. Unfortunately, they feel, because I cannot see them back, they feel saddened about it, that I'm not seeing them sign back to me, communicating with me in their own way.
Here's where 30-year-old Tawalkat Babatunde comes in.
Take note, it's over the cost price, not the selling price.
She's a sign language specialist at the school. She works with Cyril to coordinate and communicate math lessons to the class.
I'll make sure the class is being arranged. Okay, keep quiet, watch what he's saying, explain. When he's explaining, I'll demonstrate. You do give them classwork and homework. I'll mark it, distribute it to the students. Honestly, the first day we worked together, I stood at just for like maybe 2 or 3 minutes, was like, a blind individual, writing like this. Even a typical human being cannot do most of what he is doing. So I was amazed.
Cyril Ojime is a 1996 graduate of Pure and Applied Mathematics from the University of Ilorin, Kwara State. He's also an award-winning math and further math teacher with experience spanning 11 different schools in 5 states across Nigeria since 1999. Cyril recalls a childhood experience that motivated him to take up teaching as a career.
I used to have a math teacher. He would just put some problems on the board and I would just be smiling. We would not be able to solve it. So in my mind, I said, I want to be a teacher whereby I will make math to look simpler than what this man is doing.
That resolve made in the early 80s still nudges him to demystify math for children today. However, in 2012, Cyril was diagnosed with glaucoma. This almost puts paid to his life ambition of teaching math.
When I first of all found out 2012, it was like a shock to me. Because as a then, in my family, the extended family, we only know for maybe eye issues such as myopia or long distance issue. Then maybe at was cataracts, but nothing like glaucoma. So it was a surprise to me. And when it started, it was as if it was an insect in my eye that was blurring my vision. So when I was told it was glaucoma, I went to Google it to read more about it. When I learned it was white blindness, I got a bit scared at first. But I said, okay, let me see what can be done.
Dr. Adiola Onokoya is a professor of ophthalmology at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital, LUTH. She throws some light on Cyril's condition.
Glaucoma is the commonest cause of irreversible blindness. It's a disease of the nerve of the eye. That nerve is like a cable that connects the eyeball to the brain. In glaucoma, what happens is there's some damage, inside the eyeball where you have those nerves originating from that we call the optic nerve. They are damaged. And what damages them? Well, it's either there isn't enough blood flowing into them, or because there's a lot of pressure inside the eye. And once those cells in the eye die, even the eye is opened, is looking at whatever object, but there is no connection. There's a disconnect between what the eye sees and the brain. So the eye looks normal, but no image processing is taking place.
What causes glaucoma And how can it be treated?
Nobody knows the cause. And if the cause of a disease is not known, then there's no cure. It's commoner in blacks than in the Caucasian. There's just an inherent, risk for us to develop glaucoma, being blacks. And then if you have a family history, because genetics is at the basis of glaucoma, really. And then if that pressure is high, that's eye pressure, intraocular pressure, if it's high, and then people who have severe hypertension, people who have very low blood pressure, even people who are using low blood pressure medication but they are overusing it. Management of the glaucoma, we can give eye drops, and if the eye drops are not working well, then you may have to go to surgery. It's a lifelong disease. But suffice is to say that once you have lost vision from glaucoma, it is not recovered.
Cyril was in the prime of his career when glaucoma struck. He was deputy head of the math department, mathematics coordinator, and was vying to be head of senior school before he began to have challenges with his vision. The new reality devastated him. He began to struggle with tasks that were once easy.
Then, to be moving around, it was difficult for me. There are times I would just miss my way when going to the class. I would not really know the right class that I'm going to until I therefore come back and count my steps again. Some of my colleagues will be assisting me in typing, to be marking that I'm going through a phase. And I thank God for my colleagues then who rallied around me to see that I was not failing. Being a private institution, they are not looking at whether you are going through a phase or whether you are going through a medical situation. There was for you to be effective, no matter what it takes. Be effective. Don't go down. Don't relent in your effort. So I was trying to meet up.
He sought medical help in 2012. However, the doctor's strike paralyzed healthcare services for 6 months. In that time, his eyesight worsened.
For 6 months, when they were on strike, I could not get medical attention, and that was when the eyes deteriorated. Thereafter, when they called back the strike, it was a bit late. The pressure in the eyes became very high and uncontrollable. Despite eye drops and medication, it just skyrocketed. If the doctors were on ground, I would have been able to get the proper medical attention on time. I would be able to at least know the right eye drops to take to preserve the vision. And I'll be able to at least, if it was not becoming better, at least the doctors would have been able to refer me to Lutz or even to another institution entirely for me to get proper attention.
Indeed, the lack of a reliable healthcare system in Nigeria does jeopardize the health of citizens. Additionally, glaucoma does not show symptoms. Therefore, Cyril only began to have signs of visual impairment in the advanced stages of the disease.
We usually advise that we should get our eyes tested regularly. Once you are above the age of 35, you should make it a point of duty to get your eyes examined once in 2 years. But if you have a family member who suffers from glaucoma, or you have a family member who is blind, you don't know why, you should check your eyes for glaucoma. So regular eye examination is the way to detect it at a very early stage. And once it is detected, treatment is started, and we can then slow down that rate of progression.
As Cyril's eyesight was deteriorating, his work at Olashere Grammar School in Osun State was failing. In March 2015, he made a decision he never imagined he would take in his early 30s. Cyril Ojemen resigned.
I had to meet the HOD, my supervisor, that look, I cannot continue like this, that I don't want to be a burden to the students, members of staff, and especially my immediate colleagues. It's best for me to quit while the ovation was still loud.
Nothing prepared him for the challenges ahead. He was about to face trying times due to a deteriorating vision and a lack of steady income.
2016 to 2018, I will call those 2 years the worst period of my life. Number one, I stopped going out. 2, feeding myself, my family became difficult. 3, paying for children's school fees stopped. After exhausting my gratuity, nothing was coming in, a lot of expenditure came in, no income, so everything was just dry. And I felt for my children because it was something they never expected, never wanted to experience. My wife did all she could to support, but it was all to no avail. She became more or less like a beggar, asking people around for assistance. Myself, I started calling people, calling my brothers, calling those that I know, those who I don't know, to see what they can do to help me out. I got almost to a stage of depression, but my wife and my children, they stood by me, they encouraged me that it's not over.
Just when the nights got darkest, some lights shone through. Cyril got to know of the Federal Nigeria Society for the Blind at Kappa, Oshodi. It's a special rehabilitation center for the blind. He didn't have the funds to enroll for the vocational training course. His friends and family began an online campaign to crowdfund his rehabilitation.
The help started with my classmates, Federal Government College Kano classmates. They came in. At first, they helped with the surgery, but after a while, they stepped back to take care of their own personal issues. But by the time I now raised the voice again in the wilderness to say, please, I need help, they came again, sent 1 or 2 things just to keep body and soul together. My elder brother came in, then ex-students, those that I taught, came in as well. And they rallied to help me out until I graduated.
With his fees paid, he began a 1-year process to rehabilitate for his new life.
I did braille reading and writing, did rehabilitation and mobility. Mobility is by means of how you move around without being aided with the use of a white cane. This is a white cane. It's a white cane. You just put it on the ground and you just be feeling around. It guides one, a visually impaired person, to move around freely without any fear of falling down. Then I learned how to operate the computer using keystrokes. My students from Ikeja Junior High School.
E4, 40, E4.
So I'm going through their scores. Gradually, I started getting used again to the laptop, something I felt I could not do again. And what really helped me was the application that was installed in the computer. It's called JAWS, Job Access with Speech. On the phone, we have what we call TalkBack. So that is the way we started using handset and the computer in general. The experience changed my life and my way of seeing life in a new perspective.
In 2019, Cyril graduated as the best student at the rehabilitation school. Thereafter, he enrolled in another course by Sightsavers, an international non-governmental organization dedicated to empowering the visually impaired with digital skills.
Sightsavers really helped me out in terms of how to replan yourself, how to organize your career, how to work out your CV to make it to be a one-page document, how to prepare for an interview, what kind of questions to expect, how to do follow-up after an interview, then preparing for the work environment, and it gave me that boost and that confidence to be bold, to be self-confident, to be able to have that charisma, to have that character, to move on. So Sightsavers did that for me.
Despite all this training, he was not quite prepared for the challenge of getting back into the labor market as a person with disability. Luckily, an old connection came through.
The person's name is Mrs. Grace Egbobi. I will be grateful to her. She got in touch with me and said, there's an opening in the public sector. They are looking for a maths teacher, and she's going to submit my name, being that that's my course. And an interview was conducted, and today I was employed. I was posted to Ikeja Junior High School When I first of all met the principal, Mr. Safiu, he said he's not going to reject me because he sees in me something that will be of benefit to the school.
He gave me a brief interview in my office, and he told me that he will be able to handle mathematics skillfully. So I said, let me give him a try. And since then, I've been watching him. And what I noticed about him is that he has great passion for this job. You will never see him coming late to work. He's always front in the class, and he does the work with passion.
I'm happy his decision of accepting me is paying dividends now. And ever since I stepped in here, I've been putting my best, and I believe the best is still yet to come.
Just when he thought getting a job was hard enough, commuting to and from work as a visually impaired man became a tough road to travel.
When I leave the compound, I stay at the gate side. The person that do help us at times, he comes in, he will take me to the bus stop. I will enter a bus going to Oshodi. I will drop at Kappa. From Kappa, I will take a bus coming down to PWD. Drop at PWD. When I get down, God has been faithful. Somebody is always there. They will take me across the railway track and to the other side, bring me over to this side, to the GRA side, drop me at the gate. At times it will be a teacher, a fellow teacher. At times it will be a student. At times just be a passerby who has a measure of kindness in him or her.
This is David Okon, former president of the Nigeria Association of the Blind. He is the current chairman of the association's education committee. Okon was born sighted, but became blind as an infant. Like Cyril, he had a hard time securing a job despite his skills and education. He's now a staunch advocate for equal opportunities for persons with disabilities.
Blind people can work as long as they have the education that is required. They need training like other people. It might be some specialized training, but honestly, it doesn't cost the price of a rocket. They need equipment that will make them function appropriately. That might cost a little more than what you give. But every employer should think this way.
Okon also analyzes the role that the Nigerian society has played in perpetuating the belief that persons with disabilities are outcast.
The society is yet to come to terms with the fact that a blind person or a person with disability is a member of the society. Or they see him as that lesser being. You can even hear things like, this handsome man or this beautiful girl or lady is blind. That is just nothing but pity. But are they ready to see you as an equal stakeholder in the society, in the organization, in the workplace, in school environment, even in the church? The answer is not in the affirmative for now. A blind person would have ordinarily not been so disadvantaged if the society was more enabled. The environment, the road networks was not built with me in mind. And even when the government even did some walkways, pavements that you could walk and not be run down by moving traffic, you find out that that is not possible because the walkways have now become markets. The bike owners, ones we call Okada, park their bikes on top there. And so I now it would then be as if I'm more handicapped than I should be.
Drawing from his personal experience with disability discrimination, Cyril makes a passionate plea for an inclusive society.
Those who have physical disabilities, they are pushed aside. They look them as perpetual beggars. And it's not supposed to be. Some of us, we are learned. We don't need pity. We need opportunities. We need encouragement. Those who are lacking education, they need to go to school. Those who need employment, they need to get employment. Those who need to even start their own crafts and their own little business, they need such help.
Every 6 minutes, someone is told they're going blind. Leading medical journal Lancet Global Health projects that global blindness will triple by 2050 to 115 million. Okon speaks to these figures as he calls for a paradigm shift in how society views and treats persons with disabilities.
I have not come across a blind person who have become sighted. Unfortunately, I've come across too many sighted people who have become blind. The question then is, why don't you think of making the society a better place? In case it will be that person you know, or even you, because there is nothing that says that it cannot be you tomorrow, so that will not join us in the cry and lamentations that we're going through.
In January 2019, President Muhammadu Buhari signed the Discrimination Against Persons with Disabilities Prohibition Act. The act criminalizes discrimination against persons with disabilities and requires all public organizations to reserve at least 5% of employment opportunities for these persons. But that law has the challenge of enforcement. As for Cyril Ojemen, he has found a job that pays him 2 times Nigeria's minimum wage, and he plans to retire in the teaching profession. However, many other PWDs are not as lucky. They can be found on the streets, begging for alms to survive, or locked up in homes, hidden by their families for fear of discrimination.
You are one family. There's no doing all this sport in Nigeria.
See how your body just dripping diamond.
As far as I'm concerned, I guess it's the lady. The lady is the sacrifice man. Because, okay, let's assume now, this morning, I have to be in the office by 8:30. So she have woken up before 4 a.m. I'm still sleeping by then. So she sacrificed her time to make dishes for me while coming to the office, you know. And some other things like that I cannot do easily if she's not there. So
well, the relationship is virtually about sacrifice. So, and both parties should be willing to make sacrifices. So there is no law that says the man must sacrifice for the woman or the woman must sacrifice for the man. Even among relationship of the same sex, normal friendship will still involve sacrifice.
I think both the husband and the wife, they make sacrifices for each other. And it is sacrifice that can even make both couples to be in relationship. Because without sacrifice, sometimes one can just say wants to back out. But both parties, they make sacrifice. And I cannot say one make more sacrifice than the other. So it all depends on the area where the sacrifices are being made.
The reason why I conclude my own that is the man is that the man is the one that be the NG body, that is financially, spiritually, and in all aspects of life. He has to provide everything that is necessary to sustain the relationship.
It's a woman that make real sacrifice of marriage, she will be praying that God should sustain our husband, our home, and our children. So men will be looking for the money to please the wife and to pay for the school children. But women will be praying that God should give them life. There will be no death. Men are not, they don't believe on death. But women fear death too much. That's why we are always, if you see the congregation of the church, in the churches now, women are the ones that are much, because they are praying for God's sustaining of their marriages and their homes, on their children, and on their husbands, so that God should sustain them and bless their lives. So men are just looking for money. They don't pray. They don't believe that prayer is the one that sustains life, providing for house, but they depend on their labors. So that is why women are more so sacrifices on relationship.
That's a very, very cunning one. Because if I say a guy does, the ladies will be like, no. If I say a lady, the guys will be like, boy, you're a guy. But I would say both of them do sacrifice. But if you're to ask me who sacrificed the more, I would say it is the lady, because in most cases you see her doing more. Let me just, by doing, I believe you understand, doing more. Because ladies are more of a multitasker. They know how to multitask. But guys are more like the passive ones. So I guess the lady do sacrifice more in a relationship. Thank you.
The most important and the biggest sacrifice ever is time. Then if you are able to give your time to your partner, you've given the best. Then after time, of course, love and affection follows. But time is actually the most important thing. Then I can give my money, my material things. You understand what I'm saying by material things. So I can share anything with my partner as far as she's worth it.
I will not say man or woman makes sacrifices, so it depends. As occasion demands it, the man can make sacrifice. There will also be time for the woman to make sacrifice. And evil amongst if you check within her assemblies, she will make sacrifices for some of her assemblies, some of her female friends. She will equally make sacrifices. Some will make sacrifices for her too. So life is about making sacrifices. God already makes sacrifice for all of us.
Abraham, Moses, Jacob, you are one family. There's no doing all this sport in Nigeria.
See how your body just dripping diamond.
The federal government has funded 422 delegates to COP28 summit, says the minister.
And there's also of the press that we will be doing this morning. And by the way, good morning and welcome to the Breakfast on Plus TV Africa. My name is Nyamgul Agaji.
My name is Rume Paulson.
It's going to be a wonderful day. Yesterday I was so sure it was also already the 12th of the month. I don't know. Days are moving fast and fast and fast. But today, fortunately, I remember the date quite clearly. It is the 5th of December, 2023. That means we have 20 more days and then it's Christmas. But the entire season is the season for Christ.
That's right.
Yeah. I don't know how you are preparing, but I'm preparing to go to church.
Isn't everyone?
Well, you know, there are some people beyond the church. That preparation for Christmas, church is just one of those things. But the major thing that they're going to spend their time, spend their money, is not even church. But this year, we'll go plenty for church.
Of course. Well, I'm sure there are other ways to celebrate. So even if you're not spending so much money, as long as you're sharing love with your family and your friends, that works. That's a good way to spend Christmas.
Yeah, sharing love. That's what we've always been saying. And we've always told you that sharing love doesn't always mean that you're going to give someone a fat check for you to say that I've shared love, or for the next person to know that you've shared this love. There are people, even the richest of us, need some things from the people that you feel cannot even give them anything. Because my people say, it is in the poor man's house that you can find a grinding stone. So anytime the rich man is in need of a grinding stone,
he comes to the
poor man. So everybody needs something that another person can give.
Yeah.
And I always say a community that is full of rich men or only rich people is probably the poorest community, because everybody is a multimillionaire. So who will work for the other? So you find out that you are now poor. All of you are very poor.
Yeah.
So everybody needs the other person, the poor ones and the rich ones. At the end of the day, nobody is actually really poor.
Yeah, and I think even in this time of sharing love, you should also share love to yourself.
Yeah.
Be able to give yourself grace. You've come so far, which is great. You're doing amazing, and just take time out to relax. I mean, this is a season of sharing love, so share love to yourself. You can, watch something, watch a Christmas movie, go out with your loved ones, just do something that will make you happy in the season.
Spend some time with yourself.
Yes.
Even if you're not going to a very, very expensive place, you could go and be at peace with nature. Sometimes you go to a waterfall, you go to a canopy walkway, you go to thank God Lagos has a lot of beaches. Some of them are free. Just go there and sit and just think about life when you're sitting right there, because you need to love yourself before you can give love to anybody else.
That's right. You cannot pour from an empty cup. I love to say that you definitely cannot pour from an empty cup. So you need to fill yourself up before you're able to pour into other people. And I'm Christian. So for people who are Christians, God loves you. So therefore, you should love yourself and then love others.
Even if you're a Muslim as well,
God loves you.
At the end of the day, we find out that this thing about God is just a matter of terminology. We all believe in a force greater than us. And whatever name you call it, no matter how you see it, it's like the story of an elephant, where blind people went to see an elephant or to feel an elephant because they can't see. Yeah. Some went to the trunk, some went to the tusk, some went to... So all of them were describing